All right, this is Senator Graham, and he's asked it by his reporter, where do you get the money from?
About how it all plays out. Senator Lindsey Graham is with me this morning, Republican from South Carolina. He is the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee and serves on the Senate Appropriations, Foreign Relations, and Budget Committees as well. Good to see you, Senator. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
And budget committees as well. So he's a powerful individual.
So how does this play out? The Democrats going to put this resolution up on Tuesday of this upcoming week. Then it moves to the Senate. Can you tell us what happens then?
We might lose a few Republicans in the Senate. All you need is 51 to get it out of the Senate. So it'll pass the House with a handful of Republican votes. It'll come to the Senate. It might get 51. It'll get vetoed by the president, and Republicans will stand with the president to sustain his veto.
So this is going to pass the House, it's going to come to the Senate, it's going to be vetoed by the president. Republicans will stand by the president on the veto, and it will be dead.
And it will be deader than dead.
So what do you want to say about this? I mean, here we have a situation where we continue to see break-ins at the border, at the ports as well. I mean, why would Republicans not be behind the president on this?
Well, some people believe that the emergency declaration could lead to Democrats in the future doing the same thing on other issues. That's not my concern. My concern is a broken border. It is not a manufactured crisis, and what upsets me so much is that in 2013, almost all Democrats voted for $9 billion for border security, for barriers, as part of a $44 billion package. So to my Republican friends, it's clear to me they're not recognizing President Trump won. They're not having the same attitude about barriers under Trump as they did Obama. You're basically legitimizing, marginalizing the Trump presidency by not standing by the president, because the Democrats are not playing fair with President Trump. He doesn't have any choice but to declare a national emergency, and he has all the legal authority he needs to do it.
So this has been done many times before, and he's going to say that in a moment.
And in terms of the money that he can gain from other agencies as a result of the national emergency, we're talking about, what, $3 billion roughly from the money in the Treasury. I mean, tell us where this money comes from and why you believe that these are monies that have been appropriated but not used and are available to the president in this regard.
Well, he wants $5.7 billion. Now, what does that number represent? That number represents the top 10 priorities of the Department of Homeland Security as to where you actually need barriers. This is not President Trump sitting down and making stuff up.
This is where you actually need physical barriers because we don't have them. Think about that.
This is what the professionals tell us we need. These are the top 10 sites that we need a barrier to protect the border, and the total cost is 5.7. You take the 1.375 out of that, what Congress gave him, and you go into the military construction bill, you go into other pieces of legislation, you move money around, and you build out the wall of the barrier. That's where he's going to get the money from, some from here, some from there. And the National Emergency Declaration has been used 50 times. Obama sent troops to the border.
50 times. 50 times. Now he's talking about the other presidents doing this stuff.
Bush 43 sent troops to the border. Trump is sending troops to the border. What's the difference between sending a soldier to the border to shore up the border than having a soldier build a barrier while they're there?
Yeah.
He has all the legal authority he needs, and I hope the Republicans will stand behind him. This is a defining issue in our party.
Well, is this a defining issue also for 2020? I mean, is that what this is all about, Senator, 2020? Because we show the picture of the wall in Nancy Pelosi's state virtually every Sunday, that wall that separates San Diego from Tijuana. And we know that that wall works, but of course, when it comes from President Trump, Nancy Pelosi says it's immoral. So is this just about 2020, really, at the end of the day?
This is about they hate Trump so much they will not give him a fraction of what we did for Obama and Bush. And to my Republican colleagues, we've sat down in good faith and tried to negotiate with Democrats, and they basically stiffed the president and us. This is the only path left for the president. He made a promise to secure the border. It is not a manufactured crisis. It is a real, serious national security problem. Stand behind the president as he goes through other accounts to get the money money to build the barriers we need to be safe. This is about keeping your promises as President Trump. This is a great issue for 2020. It's a national security issue, but it's a political issue also. In the Democratic world, there is no border crisis. It's all manufactured. In President Trump's world, in my world, there's a real problem at the border, and we're going to deal with it. That's a good debate to have.
Let me move on to another.
All right, we're going to get past this, but it's not going away. There are other things that aren't going away. 2020 is only a year away, and we got a little more than a year and a half, and the elections will be on us again. And a lot's going to happen in the next year and a half. And you're going to see more of this come out with Q and other individuals as to really what Trump is doing and really what's going on in the Democratic Party. As American citizens need to step up, put pressure on the Democratic and Republican parties, hold them accountable, and if they're wise, they need to start disintegrating and tearing apart the Republican Party and putting a better party in there to really push both Republicans and Democrats to do better in the Senate and in Congress. Again, it's Roger Martin, Billings, Montana. Let's see if Americans will step up and make it happen. Good day.